Hi, my name is Rio, and in April I watched 22 movies. Let's go through all of them. Gusto Kita with all my hypothalamus. This movie just reminded me how much I hate men and how I should hate them even more. Every guy here was just so creepy that I was really hoping for the main guy to not be creepy, but that's the bare minimum. Throughout the whole movie, I was just so disgusted. I am really glad that a woman wrote this, because if it was a man, why would you have the power to write a woman like that? It just made sense that a woman wrote this, and that's good. Hoppers, another Pixar movie. It was fun to watch. I love beavers. After this movie, I just kept looking at videos of beavers and how they do their magic and building dams, and damn, Nashville. This movie was so long, and you can really sense that it's long because you see all these different characters. You see them in their lives. I don't even know who the main character was because you get to see each of their lives. What makes this movie so long is there's a lot of singing. I mean, it's in Nashville. It's a music city, and throughout the majority of the movie, we see how different these characters are and the chaos and messiness that they're experiencing. And in the end, you realize they are in the same America. And it may not be Dallas, but it is America, after all. Zootopia. This was the fox that everyone was thirsting about. I don't get it. I saw furries in California. Zootopia 2. This was fun, but I like the first one better. Like Minds. British boys in Catholic schools go crazy, and I'm here for it. And I'm also here for whatever accent Toni Collette is trying to pull off. I love it. And if you like Dark Academia, this one is dark for sure. It made me feel sick. Super Mario Galaxy. This one was really fun. And I hate saying this, but I love the first one more. I felt more excited watching the first one. But with this one, I love how I got to see more Nintendo characters. Also, how did Donald Glover do that voice? No way he did that by himself without any modification, because what do you mean? What do you mean? Yoshi. Half Nelson. This tells a story of a teacher and a student going past beyond their kind of relationship by being just two separate peoples living at their low stages in life. We have Mr. Dunn, played by Ryan Gosling, who's the teacher who is struggling with addiction, with drug addiction, and his student, Dre, whose brother was just recently imprisoned due to drug affiliation, to which she herself is trying to get into. They see each other at their most vulnerable times, and although it's hard, they try to overcome their struggles. This movie was beautifully done, and it hurt a lot. And Ryan Gosling is amazing. The drama. I knew that Girl from Heim was gonna cause the drama. I knew it. I was on the edge of my seat for this one, and I was gagged. Literally, because there were a lot of puking scenes that don't. It's not a horror movie, but I was anticipating a jump scare every single time. I don't know why, but oh my gosh, I have a lot to say about this movie to the point where I need to make a video essay, but oh my goodness. It's not a horror movie, but the horror of this movie is that it tackles a moral dilemma that makes you question a lot, that makes the audiences question a lot. I also love the marketing for this movie. Their trailer, nowadays trailers give out the whole story. Like the Reminders of Him trailer, I watched that movie. I didn't watch the movie, I watched the trailer, which is the entire movie. I love that they didn't spoil anything in the trailer for the drama, because that would have ruined everything. That would have ruined the surprise. I am pissed at everyone in this movie, except for one character, which this may be a hot take for a lot of people, but except Zendaya's character. Dog on Trial. Your ears don't deceive you. The title is exactly what the movie is all about. So this dog was not this dog. So a dog is on a trial because he bit a woman's face while he was eating and she was petting him. And yeah, this dog was on a trial. Like what the title said. There were times in the middle of the movie where I just feel like we've lost the plot, we've lost the objective. I feel like it should have been more impactful, but it really wasn't. Petite Maman made me feel so curious as to how my parents were as children. Not even as teenagers, but as little children. Because, okay, let's compare ourselves. When we were children, we were so different from when we were teenagers and from when we were in our early 20s and our late 20s. And so were our parents. This movie really made me wonder how did my parents play when they were little kids? What were their dreams? Because I know their dreams when they were, let's say, 10 years old. It was different from when they were 16. I wish I got to know their young selves, their little selves, roommates. I had fun with this one, but I was also fuming in rage because Celeste. Ooh. Also, this movie was so predictable to the extent where I don't even care about its predictability anymore. I was just having fun. This was corny at times, but you know what? Whatever. Lady Oscar. This is an English language movie based on a Japanese manga which is set in France. But this was only released in Japan and France? Why is it in English then? To be honest, I thought there would be more whimsy considering it's a Jacques Demy film, but also just realized, hey, this was set in the French Revolution, so maybe we should stop the whimsy for a bit. The Place Beyond the Pines. Sort of a Hamlet-esque storyline, which I didn't expect, because to be honest, all I've seen from this movie was Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes with a baby and them being cute, and that's how they met and that's how they got married. Didn't even expect Bradley Cooper to be here. I didn't know he was in this movie at all. I like the switching of the POVs and the impact it had, but I kind of lost interest when it was Bradley Cooper on the screen being the main character. I'm sorry. Moonstruck. I do not condone cheating in real life or in movies, but I guess this was a needed affair. Just for the main characters though. This was such a fun watch, and you know what? Nick Cage, you know what? I get it. Just in that movie, I get it. Just in that movie, I get it. Just in that movie. I have to reiterate, just in that movie. I get it, just in that movie. Just in that movie. Blind Cop 2. I watched this because my friend recommended it because her friend wrote and directed it. This was a fun watch. I also got to make a trip out of it since we watched it in Athens, Georgia. I love supporting independent cinema, especially when it's based in Atlanta. This is my home city for now. It's funny, I laughed at times, but it's very white boy humor. If that's your thing, then go for it. And honestly, I love that they didn't give up on this movie after 6 years of working on it, so kudos to them. All That's Left of You. A very emotionally hard-hitting story about a Palestinian family experiencing a lot of changes after their land, their home, gets stolen by the Israeli people. The pain, the sadness, the anger, the fear that they felt on screen, I felt it so much. And oh my gosh, I saw a Letterboxd review that made me fume and rage. Wait, let me look for it. I took a screenshot of it because it was just so absurd. Nazi. But they said, Palestinians don't need any more films proving the resilience of their humanity. Okay, let me tell you about something. I live in Tacloban for my whole life, and during the Marcos's regime, during the martial law, Tacloban was booming because that's where Imelda Marcos, why do I keep pronouncing her name like that? Marcos lived. And you know, when Ferdinand was courting her, you know, like of course Tacloban would get a lot of benefits. What was taught to us in schools growing up was that, oh, Marcos era was the golden age of the Philippines because 1 peso was $1. And when I grew up, I researched. It was bad. I first really learned the truth of the Marcos regime through my sister. She took me to this play about people who suffered through the Marcos era. Even after that, you know what? I watched a lot of movies about the Marcos era. I can't even count how many Marcos regime movies that I've watched. And every single time, it makes me learn something new. It makes me learn a lot of other people's stories. Each movie can be a different perspective of people who have suffered. Films like this are necessary. In fact, keep making more. There's a lot of war movies. We see a lot of war movies. And I guarantee you, every single war movie I watched, the thing is also, I don't just blatantly watch war movies. I have to take my time and physically, emotionally prepare myself for it. It makes me feel emotionally vulnerable, and you realize why they make these movies. To really let people know this is something we should avoid. This movie, you know what? This is a different story about a different Palestinian family. And there might be a lot of other Palestinian people who need their story to be told. Mother Mary. With this movie, I feel like the makers just had a certain aesthetic in mind and they made a movie out of that, which is probably not the case, but it felt like that to me. This movie, I might need to rewatch because I did fall asleep in the movies, but you know what? I love the songs though. Atropia. Funny but sad. I'm intrigued but also quite confused. And in the middle of the movie, you know what? In the middle of the movie, that's when I started to question, where are we? Because the pacing of the movie was just so different, like I was lost. But I enjoyed it nevertheless. Save Yourselves. That Why Is Blood Andromeda jump scare in the beginning, where they showed the title card, I love that. This is such a realistic depiction of people, I guess in this case specifically a couple, hitting an existential crisis and remedying it by becoming better people for themselves, better people on this earth economically and I guess emotionally. This is also a realistic depiction of what I would probably do when I'm trying to save myself from the end of the world. Michael. You know what? Right after this movie, I could not stop hee-heeing around the house. Hee-hee! And ever since watching this movie, I could not stop singing like Michael Jackson, and also he just keeps appearing now in my dreams. I love the performances of both the Michaels in the movie, the young and the older one, and oh my gosh, they both just embody the role so much. They devoured it. Jeanne Dielman, 23 Quai du Commerce, 1080, Brussels. Sorry if I butchered that name, but oh my gosh, was this movie boring. It's so boring to the point where I'm like, what? But you know what, that's the point. This movie is about Jeanne Dielman, who lives in 23 Quai du Commerce, 1080 Brussels. And we see her as she does her routines from top to bottom. And this movie is so long solely because of her routines. They don't skip. Once she starts with a routine, there's never any cuts. So imagine just sitting through it. And imagine doing them yourself. Imagine being Jeanne Dielman. Yeah, the entire movie just consists of her doing household chores for the majority of it. And we see her do that for 3 days straight. No cuts, as I said. And throughout the entire movie, I was just thinking, wow, like I hope something different comes along, but nothing. If you plan on watching this movie, I recommend you sit through everything. No skips, just sit through everything. Sit down, don't do anything else, and just focus solely on this movie. Because you'll go crazy. Those are all the movies I watched, not including rewatches, just first watches, in April 2026, and all in all I had 22 movies, which is higher than the number of movies I watched last month, which is... I always have a fun time watching movies, and I would love some movie recommendations. But yeah, thank you for watching this video, and go watch a movie, go watch a show, go watch a music video, go watch a YouTube video, go watch Your Neighbor. Bye!